Hello, everybody. My name is Shayan Zadeh. I'm from Zoosk, as Charles mentioned. We wanted to keep Zoosk the best kept secret for a little longer, but I guess we're talking about it here. The topic of the talk that I was asked to give some context about was, is it possible to build a real business on somebody else's platform? Obviously, the answer to that is yes. The platform is it's a very generic word. You can say, is it possible to build a business on Microsoft platform? Is it possible to build a business on the web platforms in general? But I think the most specific side of this question was the newer platforms like the iPhone platform that we have seen or the Facebook platforms of the world. Is it possible to build a real business on these? And I think what I wanted to do with it is talk about things that we found out in retrospect that we did that have made it possible to continue and build a business on the Facebook platform and beyond for Zoosk, and how it might relate to what you guys are doing today or you might be doing in future. So just a quick overview about Zoosk and what Zoosk is. We really try to say Zoosk is dating that doesn't suck. For us, it's all about choice. We want to give users the choice to use the product in the lifestyle that they want to use it. We don't tell people you need to get married in 6 weeks or you're not a good person. So you can use Zoosk for flirting, you can use Zoosk for meeting great people just going out, and you can use Zoosk for finding your soulmates. And we have users that use it in all three of these capacities. In dating, especially when you look at network goods, especially in dating, it's all about the number of people that you can have the potential to meet and how you can filter down and reach the right one for you. I think we have achieved that in a large extent. We do about 100,000 new signups every day right now. Another thing that we apply the choice paradigm to is the medium that you use the product from. We really think about Zoosk as a dating service. So we're trying to provide it on web, on Zoosk.com, on social networks, through applications, on mobile, whether it's mobile web or on iPhone or other rich platforms, on your desktop. Doesn't matter where the consumer wants to use us, we want to be there. And finally, the monetization. We are one of the very few people that are doing actual virtual currency and subscription combination through a freemium model, and it has worked very well for us, and I talk about what are the things that we have done to get there and why it works. So we seem to have found something that actually works for a lot of consumers. We have about 50 million users. We're a top-ranked app on multiple social networks, and we are the fastest-growing dating property. Wall Street Journal recently put us in the top 50 next big things list. So let's talk about where Zoosk came from. This was not us sitting down in a dark room and strategizing and finding this brilliant idea that we're going to do. It really was about experimentation. We really didn't even start as a dating company. People who know the story is we started as a market research product. We were doing B2B business. We were trying to leverage social networks and social media to reach the consumers and ask them questions for businesses. That can be as far away as you can be from dating. We started from there. We experimented with different things, tried different things. One of the experiments we did to push that product actually led us to find out that there's a huge vacuum for a dating product that is not the old and stodgy image of Match.com or eHarmony, that you need to get married in 6 weeks or your mom's not going to let you come back home. So we started as an application on Facebook, actually, and that was a great beachhead for us because it was a brand new viral platform. It was simple and efficient for distribution. When we started, this was a couple of months after the Facebook platform had opened up, so the viral dynamics were really different from what you have today as the platform has matured. But this really allowed us to get to a lot of consumers and be able to provide a network good without massive amounts of marketing budget behind it, and really roll it from there. So it was a great starting point for us, but we quickly realized that we didn't want to just be a Facebook application that lots and lots of people use it, that tops the rankings and its graphs look great, but there is no business behind it. There is no brand behind it. So we set our aspirations a little bit differently. We said, we want to have a direct relationship with our users. Yes, there are Facebook users. We get to them through Facebook. But we think that we have a relationship, we have a direct relationship with these people. And we wanted to really manifest that through the product. We wanted to reach beyond Facebook. When we started on Facebook, it was 150 million. Right now, it's, I guess, in the 400 million range. Great, huge potential. The guys that talked about the iPhone platform mentioned that that's a huge advantage for the Facebook platform. But if you look at web at large, it's even larger than the 400 million that Facebook has. So if you close your eyes and say, well, I'm going to limit myself just to this universe and it's big enough for me, you might not be reaching for the stars that you want to go after and take your product to as many people as it's viable to take it to them. We also wanted to build a business at scale. So it meant that we couldn't just be lots of page views and no monetization. So we had to figure the unit economics of the system out. And we also wanted to start to build a brand. Early days of Facebook, if you remember the applications, they were called How Good My Friends Are, or What is the Religion of My Friends? I mean, these are not people that were thinking about building lasting brands. They don't even start from the ABCs of branding. So you could say, well, they were literal, so it meant what it did, and it was easier for customer acquisition, but you're giving up other things in lieu of that. And those are trade-offs that I think I'm going to come back over and over to as we go through this. So what did we do to achieve what I mentioned up there? We asked our users for their emails back in January of 2008. And this might sound very funny to you guys, like why do I put it as a bullet point here? At the time, people were laughing at us for doing this. They're saying, you're basically putting an email capture and validation in your funnel for customer acquisition that's going to hit you at least 50% in your acquisition. So your user numbers are going to be smaller for no good reason, because you can't reach those users through the platform. Why the hell do you want to do this? And we said, yeah, it's great that we can talk to our users through Facebook, but we can't talk to our users through us. And that was important for us, and we made that choice, and boy, has it paid off in the past couple of years. And that's just an example of one of the areas that I'm going to talk about, establishing a relationship with your users. Yes, you're on a platform, you're leveraging technology, you're leveraging cool things that are happening today in the universe, but at the same time, that direct connection to your customer is important. And it's simple and trivial, but it's often overlooked when you're at least starting from an app side. We launched Zoosk on other social networks very quickly right after Facebook, and one of the things that we realized is people migrate between social networks. Believe it or not, Facebook is getting a lot of users from MySpace right now. Even Facebook users go to High Five if they're living in South America. There's a lot of movement, and people are using it in different varieties. And we heard early on from our users, well, I have Zoosk on Facebook and I've set it up, but when I use it on MySpace, I have to go do all that work again. So we put a lot of energy and resources into building really a platform agnostic system so that we could have a user come to Zoosk on Facebook, on MySpace, now on their iPhone, hopefully in future on their Xbox, and it's just the same experience. It doesn't matter where they're coming. We're just a utility delivered to them through any medium that you want to think about. We started direct monetization in April of 2008, way before it was cool on social networks. Again, this was one of the areas that our peers just laughed us out of the room. Like, are you crazy? People on Facebook would never pay for anything. Facebook is free. Users on Facebook don't pay. And you hear the same mentality on different new platforms that people have the expectation to not pay, and you cannot even experiment with it. And I think the fear of not experimenting is what kills a lot of businesses. If you don't try it out, you don't know if you can do it. Sometimes you don't need it. You can be a free service, but you just need to try it and understand what it does to your business. And obviously, we launched Zoosk.com fall of 2008 really quickly on the heels of those development because, like I said, we had aspirations beyond just being an app. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I think contributed to our success on an open platform. And by an open platform, I mean a platform that you don't have a financial relationship with the gatekeeper, that you have some special arrangements with the gatekeeper. And these are things that have helped us immensely over the past 3 years, and I think it will apply to a lot of different contexts and apply to different platforms as well. One thing that I learned early on is no single arbitrage point will last forever. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't take advantage of opportunities that open up, brand new areas that you can tackle. You can use them as your beachhead, get to them before anybody else, optimize for those opportunities. But if it's too good to be true, it's not going to last.